he's turning his attention to something far more controversial: government transparency and taxpayer dollars. Over 20 million recipients are listed as being over 100 years old. Warren tweeted, "Good news. After we raised the alarm, Doge has been blocked from accessing sensitive Department of Educational data." In the 1970s, Democratic Senator William Proxmire started the Golden Fleece Award to highlight wasteful spending. The common thread: a commitment to transparency, innovation, and citizen engagement. So, what's next? Elon Musk is no stranger to making headlines, but his last venture isn't about SpaceX or Tesla. This time, he's turning his attention to something far more controversial: government transparency and taxpayer dollars. From uncovering shocking anomalies in social security records to pushing for IRS audits, Musk's latest move are sparking heated debate across the political spectrum. But is this a genuine effort to root out the waste and fraud, or just another headline-grabbing moment? Let's dive deep into the story and explore what's really going on. It all started when Elon Musk decided to take a closer look at the Social Security database. What he found was nothing short of astonishing. Over 20 million recipients are listed as being over 100 years old, with one individual reportedly aged between 360 and 369. Yes, you heard that right. 360 years old. Musk joked that this person must have discovered the secret to immortality, but the implications are far more serious. This discovery has raised red flags about potential fraud, identity theft, or systemic errors in the system. Social Security is a lifeline for millions of Americans, especially retirees and disabled individuals. If the system is riddled with errors or fraud, it could mean that taxpayer dollars are being wasted or misallocated. Musk's findings have reignited calls for a comprehensive audit of the Social Security Administration, but not everyone is on board. Democrats, led by Senator Elizabeth Warren, have been quick to push back against Musk's effort. Warren tweeted, "Good news. After we raised the alarm, Doge has been blocked from accessing sensitive Department of Educational data. Your Social Security number, income data, and personal information are safe for now." But Utah Senator Mike Lee fired back, pointing out the irony. You passed a law giving the IRS access to Venmo payments, and now you're suddenly concerned about privacy, but only when it comes to Doge uncovering waste or fraud. The debate centers around Doge's access to sensitive IRS data. The White House insists that anyone viewing classified or private information has the proper clearance and approval. But critics argue that Doge's effort to audit the IRS are being unfairly blocked. After all, IRS workers access this data daily to do their jobs. So why the pushback when Doge tries to do the same? Musk's findings don't stop at Social Security. He estimates there are about 80 million more Social Security numbers issued than there are Americans. This might be a bigger fraud in the history, Musk said. But Democrats argue that Doge is exaggerating the issue, calling these discoveries performative theatrics. They claim Doge is cherry-picking isolated causes to paint a broader picture of government inefficiency. Meanwhile, Doge has been making strides into other areas. The Department of Housing and Urban Development recently recovered $1.9 billion in lost taxpayer funds under Biden administration. That's nearly $2 billion that can now be redirected to other priorities. But not everyone is celebrating. Critics point to rising unemployment and a struggling housing market as signs that the government focus should be elsewhere. In Washington, D.C., the median house value has dropped by 20% since November. And unemployment in Washington, D.C., the median home value has dropped by 20% since November. And unemployment filings are up 36% from the previous week. Nearly half of the 8,000 homes listed for sale in the DC metro area hit the market in the last 30 days alone. Some see this as evidence of swamp being drained, while others worry about the economic impact of local communities. But this isn't the first time someone has tried to tackle government waste. In the 1970s, Democratic Senator William Proxmire started the Golden Fleece Award to highlight wasteful spending. Each month, he would call out a government agency for squandering taxpayer dollars. Fast forward today, and it's the Republicans leading the charge. But the stakes are higher than ever. Cutting waste is just the first step. The bigger challenge is tackling the red tape that slows down progress. Take, for example, the $5 billion EV charging station program. 3 years after it was enacted, only 2 stations have opened, one in Ohio and the other one in New York. This is far cry from that hundreds promised. Doge's next mission, streamlining regulations to ensure taxpayer dollars are sent efficiently and effectively. Another hot topic is the recent layoffs at the VA. Last week, 3,600 probationary employees were let go, while 4,000 were retained in critical areas like science and research. Critics argue that these cuts are necessary to trim the fat, but others worry about the impact on veteran services. As one expert put it, every bureaucrat is scared is no longer a viable mindset. The government needs to be leaner and more efficient. Elon Musk has been vocal about the challenges of this mission. We are going to make mistakes, he admitted during a recent press conference, but we are being transparent about it. That's what he says. We have checks and balances in place to ensure accountability. This honesty has resonated with many Americans who are tired of seeing their hard-earned tax dollars wasted. So what does all this mean for the future of government accountability? Are we witnessing the beginning of a new era, or is this just a temporary shakeup? The answer may lie in how US citizens respond. Transparency and efficiency shouldn't be partisan issue. They're about ensuring that taxpayer dollars are used wisely and the government serves the people, not the other way around. One of the key factors driving this push for transparency is technology. Advances in data analytics and artificial intelligence are making it easier than ever to identify waste, fraud, and inefficiencies. Companies like Doge are leveraging these tools to uncover issues that might have gone unnoticed for years. But with great power comes great responsibility. How do we ensure that these technologies are used ethically and effectively? Technology is a double-edged sword. It can be used to solve some of the world's biggest problems, but it can also be misused. That's why transparency and accountability is so important. This isn't just an American issue. Governments around the world are grappling with similar challenges, from the UK's effort to digitize public services to Estonia's pioneering e-governance system. There's a lot we can learn from other countries. The common thread, a commitment to transparency, innovation, and citizen engagement. So what's next? The road ahead is uncertain, but one thing is clear. The demand for transparency and accountability isn't going away. Whether it's through grassroots activism, technology innovation, or bipartisan cooperation, the push for more efficient and responsive government is gaining momentum. Ultimately, the power to drive change lies with the citizens. Whether it's attending town halls, writing to your representatives, or using their online tools to track government spending, there are countless ways to get involved. The more we demand transparency, the harder it will be for waste and fraud to thrive. So what do you think? Is Doge's push for transparency a game changer, or is it just causing more harm than good? Are these discoveries a sign of systemic fraud or just isolated incidents? And most importantly, how can we ensure that this momentum towards accountability continues, regardless of who's in the office? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notification, and hit the like button. Stay tuned for more updates on this evolving story. Until next time, goodbye.